Welcome back, everybody, to the Drake vs. Kendrick Beef podcast. My name is Salim. I got my boy Ray, my boy Akram, back for another one.
Let's go.
Episode 3.
Here we go.
Keeping it moving.
About to get
you
dark.
You don't look as enthused.
I mean, I had my fun last week.
He knows what's coming. He knows what's coming.
So we're back with another episode, and we are tackling some of the darker tracks today. Blood starting to spill. They're never going to become friends ever again type shit.
Not after these
I think
two
it's
songs.
done. I think it's absolutely done.
Not after these two.
I think everything that needed to be said was probably said in these next couple of songs that we're doing. I don't know if there's much more that can be said post that, even though they keep saying that there's more that they can talk about. I feel
The
like
red button.
I feel like this was both of them
The
pushing
proverbial
the
red button. Yeah.
button. So we're here to tackle, firstly, Drake's response to Kendrick dropping Euphoria in 616. Which is what we covered in the last episode, along with Push-Ups and Tailor-Made Freestyle that Drake had finally dropped in response to the Like That verse. And the last one from Kendrick was a warning shot with 616 in LA.
Great beat.
Ray appreciated that very much
beat.
in retrospect.
Yeah.
And it was Kendrick saying to Drake, hey, we can just keep it here if you like. If you want to go further,
You taking it for something you don't want to do.
well, I guess that was on Euphoria, but still the message was there on 616. So Drake definitely wasn't going to lie down for this one. He a dog, but he don't lie down.
Because he was obviously two tracks down, yeah? Because I think it was Euphoria and 616 came out like back to back, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Drake was, he had done Push-Ups, and then the two...
Tailor-Made.
So Tailor-Made was more of a little, hey, how you going? That was
But see,
a
I
little...
feel like that's what 616. 616 was that, hey, how you going, to the Tailor-Made and Push-Ups and Euphoria.
So this is all in a matter of days, obviously. So we've got now 616 has dropped not long after Euphoria, and then
like 3
the next
days.
day, I think it was it the next day that Drake dropped, or was it?
Yeah, because I think it was a Saturday for us, right? I think it was.
It was. Yeah,
It was a
weekend.
Saturday. I remember because he dropped it
That
on a
has some shit to
Saturday,
do.
and then MTG dropped like half an hour later. Yeah, that was a crazy Saturday. I remember as a Drake fan, I was defeated. I was like, oh.
I think at this point it was
was
just
like,
peak in terms of enthusiasm.
Everybody
everyone
was
paying
locked in.
attention, because it got to a point where even later down the track, it got a bit too much. Because there's still more tracks that are coming out after
when
this.
you
but
think about
this-
it, after Tailor-Made, there was a couple weeks before Euphoria dropped. That was on the
Yeah.
Tuesday, and then 3 days later we get 616, and then half a day later you get Family Matters, and then 45 minutes later you get Meet the Grave. So it was just bang.
I remember that because the Drake stands were like, why is Kenny taking so long to drop? Why is he taking so long to drop? Blah, blah. And then he just goes bang, bang, bang. And I was like,
he was
oh,
ready. Yeah.
shit.
It's almost like he let them say that.
Huh?
It's almost like he let them, like he took a long time so he can let them say, well, why is he taking so long? Because then the follow-up is just so swift. You expected him to take maybe a bit longer. And this time was like, oh, no, I'm not waiting this time.
But you know that's
Surprise factor.
one of the arguments. Obviously, it was pre-recorded, but that's for another time. We'll leave that for the conclusion.
We'll get back to that.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
First is first. You know, I have to bring. Hats to
The
boys.
Shiesty.
Oh, this one right here had me. This whole day had me feeling a type of way, man. Gotta bring the belly out. The Shiesty. They decided to take it there. I'm a bit, you know what I mean? I don't want to be associated with the discussions pertaining to these songs.
Keep your anonymity.
I didn't know we had props. I didn't bring my props, bro. Where was the cue for the props?
So we got Family Matters, Drops Boys, and it's accompanied by a music video. We got the 3-beat switch up on this one, similar to Euphoria. It carries on the same place where Push-Ups finishes with the drop. And Akram, I think, at one point noted this to me back when the beef was popping about him starting the song off with his mum advising him, because at the time Kendrick had the whole "we don't want you to say nigga no more" and Euphoria chant going. And for Kendrick, for Drake, the pettiness just never stops with these two. For Drake to start it off with his mom saying, maybe you shouldn't.
You shouldn't say.
And then he goes on to use the word, I think, the most he's ever used it in any song.
Yeah.
So with that, boys, I'll let Ray take it away for now. How did you feel? What was your first listen like? How did you expect it to go down?
To be honest, this is the Drake we love. This is. I know. He claims he wants Drake with the melodies, but man, this is the Drake that people do love as well. Like, for him to come out saying, nigga, I said it, I know that you're mad. Like, it meant he meant business. You know what I mean? Like, it meant he was not playing around. He was coming straight for his throat. I'll address each of the songs, like dissect it down a little bit later. But I personally reckon the quality of the video, the 3-beat switch up, the production, and now in retrospect, listening to this, it is the best song of the beef.
Of the beef.
It is the best song of the beef. It is the best. Like, when you put a combination of everything together, look at how quick they shot the music video compared to, that Not Like Us. We'll talk a little bit later. Like, they took a month, I know he obviously had to organize all of Compton to kind of show up and do it, which obviously logistically, but he put this thing together super quick. And it's a tight vid. You know what I mean? It's a tight vid. He obviously
fucked with the vid, must be said.
Yeah,
I fucked with the vid.
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
Even just seeing the van, like the cleverness of it, the cheekiness of it.
Absolutely.
When that Toronto Tower came up,
Yeah,
woo! It's cooking.
Everything about it, like the 3-beat switch up, the production, everything about it is just on point, and it kind of shows what Drake is all about, man. Like, in terms of quality, the boy puts quality out. You know what I mean? Like, the boy's got money, so he's gonna make like elite, quality beats, quality videos, quality everything. You know what I mean? Like, he knows what he's talking about. And then obviously there's little cheeky jabs in there all throughout the video. First of all, we start off with the Good Kid, Mad City van. I think we were saying, what is it? Is it a Taraga maybe, or something like that? Just some cheeky little video play, type thing. But look, this. Unfortunately, I can't just focus on Kendrick, because Drake murders a lot of people in this shit. You know what I mean? Like,
on listening to it just recently again, first verse dedicated to Kendrick. I give the middle verse was when Drake did his little 20v1 thing, taking everyone on, and then third verse was straight back to Kendrick. So I feel like it wasn't as much as I initially recalled him spreading the disses. It was still very much Kendrick-centric.
Yeah, a lot of people were upset. They're like,
the middle verse, really, when he starts tearing into
A$AP Rocky. People were saying like, "Oh, why is he going for so and so? Why is he doing this, doing that?" It was literally just that middle verse that he goes for them, and that's probably my favorite part of the song. He goes hard in that part.
Yeah, he goes after everybody. He goes after everybody.
Rakim cops it.
He cops it the most. He cops it the most, man. But look, I don't know. Like I said, for me, this is the best in terms of like everything put together. There's only like one caveat, and like I don't want to sort of like cut it off immediately. The only thing that stopped this from being universally recognized as the best was the timing of Meet the Grams. Yeah. That completely undercut it, and that's shit for the boy, because this should have been like this could have been his like ether, you know what I mean? Like this could have been his, you know what I mean? Like, but the whole thing just got undercut by just the timing, not the quality or the content of Meet the Grams, but just the timing aspect of it only. Like, this is a masterpiece. This is a top 10 diss track of all time.
Yeah.
It's a top 10 diss track, like when you put everything together, and there's no two ways about it.
Yeah. I think Drake flowing on all the beats, plenty to talk about. I love the interpolation with the whole that song he has with Sexy Red on, because obviously Kendrick had called him out for dancing when you stand with Sexy Red. It's petty, bro. It's Drake at his petty best, using that hook, shake that ass to Drake, shake that ass for free, which and then Kendrick kind of plays that back on Not Like Us as well when he holds that A minor line. But just fun, man. Drake having fun.
He's having
spazzing
fun.
out.
He's dropping like some funny shit. Like I reckon the best line. I know people are gonna say the whole A minor track, but that's just allegation as bullshit. So that doesn't really hold any fucking weight. Kendrick just opened his mouth. Someone hand him a Grammy right now. That was the line, bro. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You go onto Reddit. People are trying to like put together like, oh, he said this, or he means this. Like they're the worst people on the planet. They're like, oh, he meant this, he meant that. And B, it is factual because he opens his mouth and everyone's like, oh, that was a banger, bro. That was a banger of a line. Like it wasn't like over the top edgy. There's some shit obviously he drops like. Some things whenever I say it goes over Kenny's head, no matter what. He's making some short jokes.
A lot of short jokes, which you said you fun.
You got your back against the curb. Got your back against the curb. It took me a few listens, and then when I finally got it, bro, he's funny.
He's funny, bro. He dropped some quality lines in here. Everything was 10 out of 10, bro. Like, honestly, like, he was just having fun with it, and he was also murking niggas, you know what I mean? So... Mm-hmm.
And then this whole going back to New Ho King as well after Kendrick does the whole New Ho King, eat fried rice, da-da-da.
Yeah, and they're chilling with the owner, aren't they? Owner's switching sides here.
Yeah.
New Ho King owner.
That's the only thing that
he's got his own little side story in all of this. He was loving it when Kendrick gave him that business. He was all up in the news, all up on the cameras, dancing. Drake came through.
Going through as well, there's a lot of like really good lines. Your baby mama's captions always screaming, "Save me!"
Come on, God.
I mean, come on, bro. Have you seen her captions? Have you seen Whitney's captions?
That's Drake reaching again. Drake reaching. Drake reaching.
I heard one of the kids might be day free. Come on,
I love that line. I can't lie. The first time I heard that, I was like,
bruh.
Drake having way too much fun.
Bro, come on.
I like the whole... Again, back to the short jokes. If when you put your hands on your girl, is it self-defense because she's bigger than you? I was like, come on. That was funny.
Yeah. Nah, he was having fun of it. He was having fun with it. And I know, like, obviously his big thing that he's kind of using is that obviously Dave Free fathered like one of his kids, blah, blah, blah. So he does do a lot of wordplay on that, does like work on it. Like, obviously that's just allegations, so... we can't be like whatever, but he does have fun with that line. Quite a bit. It hits,
yeah. Quite a bit. It's one of the more memorable lines.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
I was gonna say with some of the lines maybe that didn't hit. Was there any other lines actually you wanted to say that hit, that stuck out? Because there were some of the ones against other people as well, against Rick Ross about body after body and Rick reading Miranda rights.
My favorite one was Ozempic got a side of jealousy. Come on now. Come on, man.
Talking about Rick Ross allegedly using Ozempic to lose all that weight.
Big time. Yeah, big time. Like he murked him with that. What he did with the Weeknd. Weeknd, he kind of did the same thing he did before. Going back to what he said, what we do for bitches, he's doing for niggas. He's kind of going back along those lines.
Because after his marriage as well.
Yeah, his
manager. From the north side. Blah,
yeah,
blah.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's going after all of them. And then obviously the biggest one is obviously ASAP. Do the math. Who was hitting your BM first? You know what I mean?
Guess he hit my BM first. Do the math. Who I was hitting there.
And then I think he uses a nickname, which they used to have. Like him and Rihanna used to have like a nickname or something along those lines.
No, I've not picked up on that.
Yeah. They had a little nickname for each other, and I think he calls it out. So he just completely. And then what did he say? He said, "I didn't even know you were rapping again because everybody's just talking about your fit." You know what I mean? Like, oh man, like each and every one of those niggas got murked. He got murked. Like K. Dot is lucky Drake had other opponents to take care of. Because he would have just gave that whole verse and all that energy to him as well. But he had to take care of some business on the side. You know what I mean? Like
fighting on multiple fronts.
Hey, 20v1. 20v1.
That's how Hitler lost her. Pick your battles, man. That being said, I feel like Kendrick, you're right. He did get away lightly with this. Like with that middle verse going as high as he did on all the other rappers. Mm-hmm. The shit that he said about Kendrick, though, I don't know if it was believable. Calling Drake liking minors and all that kind of stuff with his previous actions, a bit more believable. Whereas Kendrick saying, "Oh, you
how sway?"
Do we need to get into it?
Bro,
he's just got a long history of messaging girls that much younger than him. You're the biggest artist in the world. Like you keep saying, I'm the richest, I'm the biggest. You have your choice of nearly every girl you want in the world. Why are you messaging 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds?
Talking to them about boys and this and that? Who are these 12-year-olds?
He's got a history of this.
It's strange. However, it's not the same as trying to court these girls. Like, it is a bit weird that he doesn't seem to mature but still complain about the same shit. I understand all of that targeting younger girls, but that is not the same as being a pedophile. And I feel like that is egregious. That is within the limits of a beef, but I wouldn't actually buy into that much as just a fan listening to it.
There's no way anybody actually buys into it. No way.
There are definitely people who buy into it. All I'm saying was there's smoke, there's fire. Like I said, you're trying to act like pedophiles in this industry don't exist.
But we both agree that it is a wild accusation, like, to throw out there. Like, you're making it sound like as if he's like...
It's not outlandish. I feel like if he said Kendrick likes minors, people would look at you more strangely because he's not shown any inclinations towards it.
Come on, cuz.
Come on, bro.
Come on, cuz.
Yeah, you're out of pocket with that, bro.
Let me just use this time to, again, say Akram is absolutely a Drake hater. So you got to take that with a grain of salt sometimes.
I think pedophilia is wrong, so...
There's nobody endorsing that whatsoever, bro. Don't try to put some words out there, bro.
But no, Ray, I'll give you any more time that you want to talk about, what hit from the song. Because I also do want to get to criticisms of the song. But there's a lot to enjoy about the song.
I think, I mean, look, I don't know if it's like a bit of a hit, but like I did like the line, a cease and desist is for hoes. So obviously that's referencing the previous, the reference, where he was saying that he asked them to cease and desist, where Kendrick accused him of it. But then he was saying, tailor-made for the Tupac. But then he said he called the Tupac a state. So I like that. Now, I don't know if there's any validity on either side, but I did like that little clap back because it sounds more reasonable that Kendrick would call and say, hey, take down, he's using Tupac's fucking AI, blah, blah. You'd be like, you better fucking take him down. Then the other way around. Like, I like that. However, I don't have anything to back it up. I'm just saying I like that.
The counterpoint to that, though, is Drake has been known to do cease and desist for songs that he doesn't like. I don't remember which song it was exactly, but prior to this beef, there was a song that was put out against him, and he did try to issue a cease and desist.
Is it the what? Is it a BBL? Is it the BBL?
Tied into the Rick Ross and French Montana.
I think it was that one.
Yeah.
So he's the one who's going up putting out cease and desist. I see a lot of Drake doing accusations of things that he himself does. Being like, cease and desist for hoes, but where he's been doing cease and desist and things like that. So,
but I mean, like, but it's fine because like K Dot is obviously like associating himself with certain people who he's calling out the same behaviors with Drake. Yeah, so let's not act like Kendrick's perfect right here. Like,
no one's perfect.
Yeah, you're painting this picture as if like K Dot is this like clean guy, brother. He has hung out with some people, right?
Yeah.
Who he also accuses that same behavior of Drake. So that's hypocritical, yeah? Which I don't think is good. So while you're saying like Drake is doing that, K-Dot is doing the exact same thing.
Just let you say, I'm not trying to praise Kendrick. I'm here to discredit Drake. That's my role on this podcast.
You're so one-sided. It's not even fucking funny.
That's cold. That's cold.
I'm trying to throw facts.
There's a lot to be said about that. Yeah, I mean, Kendrick obviously, I don't think he only associates with the most
savory type.
I'm just saying.
But to bring it back to Family Matters, because absolutely, I thought it was a great song, especially given how well Kendrick did with Euphoria and then 616. I was very impressed with Drake coming back that hard.
Going back to his rap
music
roots,
video again. Thought that was fire. But is room for criticism.
Wait, before you go there. The other one was, we already know why you went number one. It's clearly because of the boy. The honorable thing is to give me the loot. Come on, man. And you know what? That speaks volumes because Not Like Us is Kendrick's biggest hit. It's soared up the ranks, done everything.
Such a big hit. It overtook God's Plan as one of the biggest hits
massive. Ever. It's clearly because of the boy. And
Kendrick did. You could also say getting Drake to spit like that again. It's clearly because of Kendrick.
That's valid.
You know what I mean?
But we have heard him on like Duppy. We've heard him like spit bars. You know what I mean? We've heard him spit bars.
Drake hasn't been this inspired I can't even remember.
No, for sure. He was so bored. He started doing like house music. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
He was so bored. Yeah. No, I will give. Obviously, he lit a fire under him, but Drake has already been his numbers are already astronomical. So K Dot didn't do nothing for his numbers. While it's the other way around for him. You know what I mean? Like he was in the top 10, whatever streaming, God knows whatever number for the last couple of months. Now he's starting to go back down to where he belongs, but he was there because of Drake. He got the stimulus package, man.
The coveted Drake stimulus package.
Bro, I'm telling you, that saves people's lives.
I reckon Kendrick was able to show Drake, whatever you do, I can do it on that same level as well. Like, you want to do poppy music for the radios, I can do
Remember that. Just hold that thought for me down the track.
We'll get to that later on, but this is just a quick counterpoint. Ray's throwing the jabs, I'm coming.
So he started it off, obviously, with the whole nigga, I said it, da-da-da-da. And I feel, look, I wasn't mad at that, don't get me wrong. I thought it was just a little bit weird starting it off with his mum, being used as a sample, given his mum's, Jewish. I don't know. I thought that it was, I don't know, just a little bit of criticism there. I don't know how to even verbalize that, but I thought it was a bit strange.
Yeah. But I think it shows that he was obviously in two minds. He was in two minds about it, but then he was like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, this is it. Like, it's all out war. Like, he's like, yeah, I should listen, but this guy's called war. Like, it's all out war. So it shows he has a conscience, but he obviously decided to go for war instead of like the peace route.
Yeah. That was
maybe
this one.
you should.
She sounds like such a sweet old lady.
Yeah. Oh, good old Sandra.
Sandra got brought into this beef, man. Like, poor Sandra got like, she was collateral damage, bro.
And I guess to go on with what you're saying, it was war mode because this is the thing about Drake and his pettiness. When he kind of used what Kendrick said with Pharrell, when Kendrick said for Pharrell he'll inherit the beef, and Drake coming back in this song and saying, you want to stick up for Pharrell, well, come get his shit. What is it? His legacy. His legacy out of my house. Yeah. You really drawing the hate of others who aren't involved in this beef. One person that would come to mind is like Tyler, the Creator. Obviously, that's his mentor. And we'll talk about it later on the Not Like Us concert when Tyler, the Creator came out and performed there. You're drawing is Aya the word of these other people. Yeah. You didn't have to say that about Pharrell. Pharrell's got a lot of friends and a lot of loyal friends in the industry and just in the fan base. But Drake can't help himself. Like
he couldn't help himself.
He really didn't have to
step
up. But at this point, it was like he was already down. It was 20v1. Like what's 30? What's 30 gonna do? Huh? What's 30 gonna do?
But it's not as if I don't think that whole beef with Pharrell just seems a bit.
It was unnecessary.
Unnecessary, and almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy on Drake's part, adding to this whole 20v1
But that goes back. Doesn't that go back to the Pusha beef? Because obviously that started off with who was it? Pharrell made a beat for Birdman. Birdman didn't pay him. And then that kicked off with some beef between Wayne and Push. And then Drake stood up for Wayne. And so forth. So that's how there is a connection there. There is a underlying connection. Like he's just not like spraying and praying. There is a connection there. I think that was maybe his get back for getting murked on story of Adidon or whatever. I think that's his get back for that. That's how Pharrell stays involved. Unfortunately for the ever ageless Pharrell.
Well, I was going to say as well, we should just quickly explain that Drake's for whatever reason, ended up with a lot of Pharrell's jewelry from, I think, his time in NERD. I don't know if he got it at an auction or whatnot. But that's where that comes from.
He's got a lot of people's jewelry, this guy.
He's got Tupac's ring, apparently. But, yeah, so he had it. He actually has it in his house. I think he's showcased it before on social media. Yeah, in this video as well.
That was definitely his get back for Pusha.
Very petty.
Yeah. But now, look, in terms of lines that miss for this one,
The YG thing as well, let me just quickly say, who really bangs a set out there is YG.
Yeah.
Because YG obviously was still going to stick up for Kendrick at the end of the day. So I feel
he
like
was Compton based, yeah. Like I don't think he didn't expect YG to stand up for him, like, because I feel like if you're from Compton and you didn't stand with Kendrick, you were probably gonna get shot. Like, you know what I mean? Like
so it begs the question, you know, Drake wasn't thinking that far ahead maybe when he was just making these assumptions, oh, this person's not going to take a side, I can just shout him out. Because I don't even think even Chris Brown ended up, there was like a video of him on social media singing along to Not Like Us and enjoying.
But I think everybody has.
I want to talk about Chris Brown.
Everybody has.
How Drake is making a big deal about Kendrick being an alleged wife beater. Yeah, shouts out
That's
Chris
the thing.
Brown, who's known for.
I can make no morals here because I don't think there's morals on either side. I'm not looking for morals here. I'm looking for entertainment. I'm looking for the shit topic to be on point. But I don't expect these guys to actually be to have some kind of moral compass, especially when it comes to beef.
Nah, not
They're
at all.
just trying
to stir shit. Yeah. But no, it was. I mean, like, look, they were boys. I've made Who Do You Love? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So they made bangers together. But yeah, I don't think he expected YG to come out and be like, yeah, yo, I've got Drake over Kendrick, because that's a suicidal move in Compton. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a suicidal move, especially at that time when. You know, when things started escalating, people were like, oh, you know, you're not even allowed welcome back into thing. TDE started getting, like, turned down in Canada. You know what I mean? So, like, that would have been a very bad... I think he just threw it in there to try and cause some disrupt. But, yeah, I don't know. It would have never worked out. I don't think it would have ever worked out.
Yeah.
One of the biggest myths, I think the whole... Big D, this video proof. That was
for me that was a bad.
I was like, the boy, what are you doing? Like, ain't nobody needs to know that shit, bro. Come on now.
I guess you just need a song to rhyme with Big 3.
Does this not go back to what I was saying before? Come on, man. This guy is shiesty behavior.
Don't make me bring it back down, because...
No, but it was a miss. But we're gonna talk about all other misses, because every track, like, the next song we're gonna talk about has the biggest miss of all time. But you know, like, that wasn't a great line. Like, that wasn't a great line at all. Like,
I think for me as well, as I mentioned, episode 1, the whole Prince and Mike motif.
Oh yes.
So this whole time, Drake's Mike, Jack, this, that, Kendrick's Prince, and then just to change it right at the end, what does he say? He says, maybe I'm Prince and you actually Mike. Michael's praying his features would change, so people will believe that he's actually white. Top will make you do features for change. Get on Pop Records and rap for the white.
Yeah.
And then he follows up like, wait, you say your brother's Jermaine, you wanted him to stay out of the light. Like, he changed that whole whole narrative just to fit in that one line. Like,
he did. He took the scenic route to get to that line. It was
get on the Pop Records and rap for the whites, though. Like, that's facts. Like, you see,
that's what Drake does.
I'll never forget. But
Kendrick also claims to be obviously like the Black Messiah. But you look at what the culture's feeling. It's a whole bunch of Caucasians, my G. Straight up, I'm telling you right now. You go to the streets of Atlanta, there's nobody playing Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Nobody. Ain't nobody doing that, bro. I'm telling you.
I mean,
nobody.
I don't think that's a...
They're more likely playing some YGs.
They playing Not Like Us.
Huh?
They're playing Not Like Us.
Yeah. But that's his last album. I was talking about his last album. You know what I mean?
But we'll get to that. I guess what I was trying to say is he just chooses not to. I mean, he can make a banger if he needs to.
But you will admit, I guarantee you, if you go, because obviously we're a little bit different. We live in Australia, so every concert we go to is going to be white. So it's kind of it's kind of hard for us to put it. But I think if you look at that Pop Out and Kenny Friends. I remember they did a screen. It was a whole bunch of cocaine.
We're not taking it there just yet.
Yeah.
Right, we're not taking it there just yet.
I'm just saying.
Drake's shows are full of niggas?
No, but Drake has never claimed to be a Black Messiah.
I mean,
come on, man. Come on now.
It's two different
things. Get out of here.
It's two different things.
On that note, Drake kind of digging into this whole him being Black Messiah and wifing up a light skin. I'd only say that because I remember Kendrick getting heat from a lot of black women at some point about that being the case. You know what I mean?
Facts.
A lot of these rappers always gravitate towards light skin. And Drake seemed to have a lot of fun with this, even to the point with the kids when he said that whole thing. Take
light-skinned kids.
Drake's kid and Kendrick's kid to the park. Two light.
Have you seen how the complexion of those two kids though?
Yeah.
But it was funny.
There's a side-by-side photo of those two kids side by. They're not the same complexion as all my jeans. Come on. But it's a funny line.
Yeah, it's just the fun of it. I thought Drake was just cooking, having fun, man.
That's the thing. I feel like this
really
song was
doubled
fun.
down
This
on
song
all of
was
that.
Drake having a lot of fun. It was just taking the piss in a funny way. That's why it's probably one of my favorite Drake songs of all time. Really, it's a good song. Can't really hate on it too much, but there were a few misses, especially that slave line.
Well, that was what I wanted to cap it off
on that. Isn't it pretty ironic that obviously he's got a mixed queen or whatever, and yet he's out there crucifying Drake for being like half white or being.
But Akram made the point, I think, last episode. I don't think he did. And to be honest, I think that was an assumption I made in my head. I don't think he did so much as it was more, he's too much of a chameleon. He doesn't stick to one culture. It's like he's
Whatever
here, there, and
benefits him.
everywhere.
It's whatever benefits him.
Yeah. And I think that's what Kendrick was getting at, which is fair. I think the assumption in your head would be he's light-skinned. But I think Akram had a point. I don't know if he ever takes a dig at him being light-skinned.
No, never does.
Well, he tells him that he can't. Obviously, like he says that he runs to Atlanta to go like.
Yeah, even about the black features thing, I'm hearing you, but I don't think he's calling him out strictly for the whole being light-skinned.
He's eloquent. He's eloquently wording it, but there's definitely jabs about like whether it's like him being black or what. It's whole Canadian thing, you know what I mean? There's this whole Canada versus America beef. Yeah, he says you're not from the culture, so you're not American, whether it's black or whatever, which is messed up because in that retrospect, then anybody who's not American shouldn't be going and like fucking rapping or going to go get some beats. You know what I mean? He's making it seem as if America. Which it is obviously
I'll take that as a point a bit more.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, he's going at people for like, oh, you know, you should stick to your fucking sound, blah, blah, and do that. It's like, you know.
Nah, but that being said, though, if you have a half white, half black kid that grew up in Brighton that's rapping about gangbanging and all that kind of stuff, it's not a good look, man. Like, you can't have that.
But what?
You're not from that culture.
So what? Are you not allowed to rap like it if you're not from there?
You can rap about your experiences.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you're rapping about something else that you have no real life
because basically, there should be no rappers that are not from outside of America. Let's just call it that. Let's just call it out.
You can have plenty of rap, but rap about what you know. Rap about your environment. You want to be a rapper from the Bayside area? Talk about how beautiful the beaches are. You know what I'm saying? Don't talk about gangbanging and all this kind of stuff. Like Drake's not about that life.
The melodies.
That's what Kendrick's saying.
But I did, just to keep it moving, about the always rapping like you're about to get the slaves free line. Why are you laughing for? That's not funny. No, but I'm playing. Did you guys think that he was going to get the backlash that he did? That because obviously it was a touchy-feely line. I'm sure he felt it at the time, but I think that was another big backfire. Like, especially considering that he is, you know, half African American, half not. That's not the most favorable thing to be saying in a rap beef.
Yeah, I mean, considering the political climate and after we just had Black Lives Matter, it probably wasn't a good idea. But hey, it's got a ring to it, you know. If he can say some,
I'm not gonna act like I wasn't bopping my head to it.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, it was a vibe. Was it obviously? This is in hindsight. You know what I mean? Like,
because it comes back to bite him in the ass in a big way when we get to not like us. But yeah.
Look, like I said, maybe he shouldn't have done it.
I think he definitely shouldn't.
But that's Drake, though. Drake says a lot of things that are probably regrettable later on.
Everybody does. Yeah, we'll clap that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some of the people that are probably in his studio though. They got to stop being yes men. They got to start being like, hey, Aubrey, let's tie it down a little bit. But yeah, when you're so successful, what do you? Who's going to tell you?
It's the feeling of invulnerability. He feels like I can't be touched. Doesn't matter what I do.
I think so, man.
I
think that was part of this beef, which was good for him.
100%.
Was he needed that humility because it was.
But no, we're not really because obviously he got put down by Pusha. So it's like
even that one. That was Jay Prince. coming
Yeah,
in and
Jay
saying,
Pence,
hey,
Not
yeah,
even.
yeah.
otherwise, he
I
could've
think
come back.
the Pusher one, he still could get away with it. He could just get away with ignoring and just leaving it in the corner. I think this one must have been a lot more of a humbling experience.
Yeah.
Because Pusher, I think within like the strict hip hop community or the fans, we'd all agree that he copped it. But I don't think it was inescapable. Whereas this was like inescapable, really.
Yeah.
Seeing it.
It became like the biggest hit. Like this is there's nothing like nothing.
But he needed that, man. I think like just in
But
the
yeah,
future
no,
to be like certain lines. Let me just think of twice about it.
Yeah,
before
I
put it
honestly
down.
think so. I think like because he's been at the top for almost like 1.5 decades. You know what I mean? Like a lot of things that he releases just goes like platinum bubble. You know what I mean? He must just feel like
yeah, man, can't do no wrong.
it's like
Midas
it's
touch.
like I can't do whatever. And it's like, yeah, how do you check someone who's got the Midas touch? You know what I mean? Like how do you check him?
That's what I thought was the issue.
Yeah,
Like he's just not done wrong for, like you said, 15 years or whatever it is, and finally when he does say a mistake, you need someone to pull you up and.
But it's only like snippets of it because overall the quality of that track is fire. But obviously when we dissect it, those are like little bits wrong.
of course.
Yeah.
So overall,
yeah,
great
track.
retaliation. 616 when after 616 when I heard it, I was like, oh, we own.
We
Like,
own.
This is actually in.
I was bopping on that Saturday, bro. I was like,
It
bam,
was
bam,
a sunny
bam.
day. I remember that in Melbourne.
Bro, I
Sunny
remember
day.
after it came out, I was watching it, and then you gave me a call. We're
Talking
talking on
to
the phone.
Akram at
I'm
the
on the
time.
phone with you,
Now
and
before,
then
I don't mean to be petty, but you know, I got a little bit of a history as being a J. Cole, slight J. Cole hater, but you know, J. Cole still got his little shout out in this one as well.
yeah,
Cole loses sleep over this. It
It
ain't
ain't me.
me.
Yeah.
yep.
Oh,
I
you're
love that
moving
they
the TV, bro.
I love that they don't let him go. I love that the shout outs are still coming out.
Yeah,
The
J.
name drop
Cole's
is
still getting some. He's still getting the name dropped.
all
Rightly
you J.
so,
Cole
rightly
fa-
so, though.
fans.
Yeah.
Rightly so. You can't jump in, say this shit with the big three, and not expect to get clowned for
And trying to dip
having
out.
the way you did. Yeah.
Well,
You
sorry,
said my chin is out. You're gonna get hit, cuz.
there was no way I wasn't gonna bring up the J. Cole thing. But back to that fateful Saturday morning.
I was
We were
saying,
on
yeah,
we
the
were on
video
phone,
clip
I
came
could-
out. I'm in bed watching it, and then I was on the phone with you, and we're talking about the video clip, how clever it was, this, that. What felt like 5 minutes on the phone later, Alex is like, "Hey, Kendrick dropped again." I'm like, "No way."
Brother, when I heard that, I was like, ain't no fucking way. I was like,
thought
I was
she
like,
was saying
Kendrick, like, give us one day, man. What are you doing, bro?
When she said to me, "Yeah, Kendrick dropped," I was like, "No, that's 616. Like, you just haven't heard it." She's like, "No, he dropped again."
Yeah.
I was like, "Press play. Let me make sure." Ding, 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 ding.
I couldn't believe it because you told me to get off the phone and
Yeah, I was
check
like-
it
I
out.
was
I
like-
was like, this has to be another AI type thing. Yeah, mean mug on Ray's face as soon as the song came on. But I couldn't believe it. I actually thought this has to be AI. So I was just like some quick research. I've seen anywhere between 15 minutes and 45 minutes.
I think
between
45
when-
minutes is what I've.
between when
Yeah.
Family Matters dropped and this drops. And the thing is, at the time, because it takes a long time for certain things to maybe upload, so you don't know who listened to Family Matters at what point. But all I know is by the time I listened to Family Matters, which I felt like was not long after it dropped, this shit was out in like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
I think it was half
I don't know
an
how
hour.
reliable this information is, but I remember reading at the time that Kendrick actually uploaded it to his YouTube before Family Matters
Yeah,
even
yeah,
dropped,
yeah.
but kept it on private.
And then actually
after Family Matters thing,
made it
made it
public.
public.
Yeah.
I was like, if he did that, then this was just purely just genius plan, which is strange though, because this kind of chess move is something that Drake would do. This kind of manipulation of the media and like playing a track straight after another one to kill the steam is something I feel like that's a Drake move.
But
To see it
then,
coming from Kendrick.
it's not a response. It's pre-recorded. Then if he's already done it before, yeah.
Oh, because he knows that Drake's a habitual line stepper. He knew that he was going to cross that line.
Well, he
Said-
knew he was gonna get a response. What do you mean? Was he just gonna
No,
to
but
duck
he was
down?
waiting for what type of response. If Drake didn't say the shit he did in Family Matters,
Do you reckon he had 2 responses planned?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think he had a more friendlier version than this. Because at the end of
Interesting.
Euphoria, he says,
Interesting.
we can keep it fun. Drake didn't keep it fun. He talks about beating his wife, talks about the kid not being his. So Kendrick's like, okay, I'm going to play you the song that'll send you straight to hell.
But isn't the about a rap beef is one person saying something about the other and the other one like counteracting. It's not just one person
But
like
this
going.
goes back to Euphoria. Kendrick saying, "You're so predictable. I can predict your angles. I know what you're gonna do."
But didn't
This
he
is-
plant all that other stuff? Didn't like Drake? Like obviously, my biggest beef with this is obviously one verse completely ruins the whole song.
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah.
let's get to it.
We'll get to
enjoy
it.
this for
You know what I
now.
mean? But so then he got planted into that. So
Yeah.
so
It's-
it's like
it's
everyone's
chess on
just,
It's
it's just a tennis match.
I don't know about how pre-written or premeditated Kendrick was in releasing this song in particular. I think it was a wait and let me see what.
I reckon he was on the money.
It's 45 minutes later. I don't think he'd have time to.
Yeah,
mix
he
and
wouldn't have
master
time
all
to
that kind
mix
of
it,
stuff.
like remaster it. Like
No,
I
I
reckon
think he had it in the clip in the chamber.
Yeah.
I just don't know if it was already premeditated. He was definitely going to release this, no matter what Drake released.
No,
think there was
I
a-
reckon you might be right. I reckon he had two. And depending on how much he talked about Whitney and the kids and Dave Free and like blah, 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 this is what made him drop this.
That's what I
I
think.
would have thought, depending on what Drake was going to do, he would have had another song, but probably not pre-recorded. If he had two pre-recorded, that's wild to me. But this song just seems like, everything that's said in it is almost kind of like timeless in terms of it wasn't
No
referring to
reference to
anything.
Family Matter.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no reference to nothing. Yeah.
Even the subject matter,
It's
I feel
not a
like
clap
it's shit
back,
that
yeah.
nothing new that he really brought up. Even like, for instance, when what he said about
It's
Sexy Red.
It's
in,
everything we
Euphoria
already
thing.
knew. Yeah.
But yeah, definitely Kendrick sitting on it and just thinking, man, if he ever takes it there, I got one ready for him. And
that's
boy, did he.
Kendrick's clapback would have been Not Like Us, which he does make references to Family Matter. So that's what, again, makes me feel like this was
Or
just...
something in that kind of vein. Maybe not.
Sure.
Maybe not exactly. Yeah.
But let me just say, this song, shivers. I can't even listen to it without feeling the ick, man. It's just
I was
criminal.
home alone and I remember just being uncomfortable, menacing.
uncomfortable is the word.
It was weird. I'd never had that kind of experience with a song before. It felt like a horror movie in
Yeah.
song form. It just made me uncomfortable, made my skin crawl. Felt like I wasn't alone in the house, even though I knew I was physically. And then, obviously, there's the menacing, that piano, that minor key.
Yeah,
But then, Dear Adonis is like the first line out of it. And that felt so personal. Because even though Kendrick did his whole thing about Drake being a deadbeat father, going straight to Dear Adonis, cutting straight through, like, ain't no fat on this one.
Yeah.
Like, we here, what's up? Fuck your family.
Fuck your family.
Dear Adonis, I was like, shit, Kendrick that's it. It's done. Like,
He was
gloves
going-
are off,
he was going
nothing is
in.
left in the chamber after this.
And the vitriol that he has in this song, for a man to sit down Aubrey's whole family one by one and talk to them, Dear Adonis, Dear Sandra, Dear Dennis, like, that's cold-blooded, man. Like, you don't do that.
Yeah.
Poor Sandra's getting done again, bro. Like why?
She had it easy, to be honest.
she-
Dennis was the real victim, I think. Dennis and
But Dennis is being clowned.
Drake.
He was clowning around back in the day. He you know what I mean? He might have deserved it. I don't think the Sandra needed to get involved, but I guess he had to.
Well, he doesn't say
Killed
anything
all the
badly
Audreys.
about her. He's just telling her how much of a piece of shit her
Yeah,
son is
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
thing. But that line where he says, "Now sit down, this is going to be heavy." Your son's a sick man with sick thoughts. I think niggas like him should die. Can you imagine, Sandra, having to listen to that? Another rapper addressing you
what he said,
personally
people like him and
saying
Harvey
you're
Weinstein. Jesus,
That's just-
Weinstein.
rude.
It was pretty heavy.
That's what I'm saying. Just even now, just uncomfortable just thinking about it.
Kind of to Ray's point, the allegations against Drake and who he's kind of being put in the same level with.
It's
insane.
It's insane, bro.
Like,
People-
all right,
people
he
have put him
does
into the
take
Weinstein
advantage
level.
possibly of younger girls, but I don't know, as far as I know, he ain't raping people and shit,
As far as you know.
As far as I know about Kendrick as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
we don't know
it
if
is-
he ain't beating up Whitney. We don't know. Like he could be. We don't know.
It is, yeah. It's quite a dark place to come from for Kendrick to put
It
him
got
on
very
wax
dark.
and to put him on that same level as Harvey Weinstein, considering how much has been revealed about Harvey Weinstein. But
It's pretty fucking dark.
all is fair in beef, I guess.
Mm.
I was gonna just say quickly that the Alchemist, Paul Guy, produced the beat, who's very, very esteemed producer in his own right. And I think he said something like he sent it to Kendrick without even knowing that was the purpose it was going to be played for. So the fact that people are being used in this beef in that way as well, like Kendrick just saying, nah, F it. We're going to, we're going to use this beat regardless of whether you know the purpose of it or not. I think, again, just shows how...
But would that change anything, though?
No, I don't think it would change anything.
I think the beat maker would be like, hell yeah, I'm going to be locked in history as the beat maker for this, like, this shit.
You know, I was going to say, because Kanye produced Takeover for Jay-Z, and I don't think it ever hurt his relationship with Nas after producing Takeover. But
I don't think
I guess,
so.
yeah, maybe you're right. I guess that doesn't change anything. I just can't help but think that Drake would feel the type of way about.
I mean, to be fair, we're talking about him as well. We're talking about the Alchemist now, so all press is good press.
Yeah. I reckon he would have been like locked in for sure. Be like,
and if he was making that beat for Kendrick, he probably at that point decided my relationship with Drake from this point, doesn't matter what Kendrick says, is going to be no more kind of thing. So
yeah. Well, I just wanted to give Alchemist his flowers because that beat is so memorable. Even though I've said it that this song in particular doesn't have the most replay value. The beat, I'll never forget that. Just one piano key. Like Alchemist must have been in somewhere dark for him to come up with that beat. But yeah, I feel like this song definitely was the height of what Kendrick was gonna spill out about his ill feelings towards Drake in the most dark way, and I feel like what he had to say about Dennis was something that I just did not see coming again. I didn't see him like going to that extent, like to be that personal, and saying, you raised a horrible person.
The fucking nerve, you Dennis.
Like I didn't know Kendrick had all of that in him, because even with Not Like Us, he kind of brings it back to Drake being the focal point, but this was just dark, man. Let me just.
The Shiestyyyyy's back.
Bro, I'm not comfortable, man, in this episode. Like, shit, I didn't know two of my favorite artists had it.
This is the dark side of Kendrick I did not know existed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he was beefing and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know it would get this personal, this dark and stuff like that. Yeah, he's shown us he can do it.
Meet the Grahams. So the daughter verse.
Right. All right. Now we've done licking his boots. This whole song, first of all, Kendrick lies. At the start of this, he says, "I don't have a hating bone in my body," and then proceeds to hate like nobody's ever done in their entire life. That's a fucking lie, you motherfucking liar. Nah, but the daughter verse completely discredits this whole song. Like it's just out for me. Like you can't talk for 5 minutes about a daughter that doesn't exist. As we know, and pretend that shit's fire, bro. He was literally trying. He saw Push's whole play, and he's like, and stole the fucking script, bro. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, that's already been done. Like, I know, I get it. It's dark and everything like that, and it's cute, whatever. The whole daughterverse discredits everything, bro. I ain't listening to this shit. Like, if it wasn't for this beef, I ain't even listening to that because it's just fabrication, like. They were already fabricating shit about each other, but this is a whole nother level. Because what she was saying is obviously older than Adonis, 11-year-old or something. I don't know, something along those lines. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Like, how can we take you seriously if you're just completely rapping about a daughter that doesn't exist?
I got something for that because, like what Akram said earlier, I think. Now, let me know. I might be reaching and I'll be hopping on. If I'm hopping on Kendrick, let me know. But I believe that Kendrick was trying to say, motherfucker, I'll lie better than you. I'll lie better than you. Oi, let me land. Let me carry it. Because it is so outlandish for Kendrick to come out and say that there is a daughter. I agree that he's been hiding for that much longer than Adonis. Hasn't come out. Had no proof for it. Within the context of how just outrageous this beef got. Yeah. I honestly think Kendrick was just like, I'll lie on tracks better than you. Because that is what Drake is doing essentially. He's lying when he does bring up the whole Dave Free thing. Like you see, you acknowledged that. I appreciated that. But it's like, this is what you do. You go on wax and you just lie about the person you're battling if you got beef with someone. So motherfucker, I'll lie too. I'll lie on at that time when that song dropped. It had the internet going crazy, trying to storm, just trying to find any proof. And all the chatter. Most. Yeah, it spurred a lot of conversation. Very controversial. Yeah. I personally think and Kendrick's never touched on it again. It was just like said it.
That's an interesting
I honestly
angle.
think, given the tone of the song and what he was trying to call Drake about doing, like how low of a person he is, and Kendrick was already saying, I'll take it further. I think this is him just taking it. You want to lie, I'll lie even further than you. Let me just say you got a daughter. The other thing I want to say is, given how much Kendrick kind of disses Drake for how he handles women, his ways with women, I think it was let me give you a perspective from obviously a daughter who it can hit a lot harder with when you are talking about him being a predator. So on top of it being a lie, it gives a certain perspective for Kendrick to work within his creative side, to be like, what's it going to look like coming from your potential daughter and me tearing you to bits about how pathetic you are with women.
Yeah, no.
I think those two things.
I've not considered that. Yeah, before.
That's a good look at it. Actually, I hadn't really considered that.
I just find it hard to believe Kendrick genuinely believed that there was.
See, my only reason that I thought that it might have been a miss by Kendrick, being that the whole I've got inside information on you. There's moles in your camp. I've got the glove, the Maybach glove. I've got the Ozempic pills.
And I've got all this. And he said, OVO works for me. OVO works for me.
So I've got all this information on you, including that you've got a daughter.
And I personally reckon he thought that was going to be the hammer blow.
I think so.
He thought it was going to be the hammer blow. Like, obviously, outside of your theory, I thought that was going to end him, because if Drake got done for revealing Adonis and then revealed that guy, I reckon. Finished. I even though I say he can't be killed, obviously I don't think he got killed. Like, I think that would have done him. I personally think that might have done him.
I agree.
I personally think that would have done him.
I agree.
It would have been. It would have done him. It would have done him, and that would have been a deadly hammer blow for Drake to have two rappers expose two kids that he was keeping in secret.
Your deadbeat father.
It would have been so bad. It would have been so bad.
But that's why I can't help but think Kendrick would have had to have something to post, also, some kind of evidence if he did think of it like that. Deadly blow. And if he didn't, then maybe that wasn't the plan to begin with. That's my take.
I think he missed so bad that he had to come back with Not Like Us. Like, he realized that was such a big miss. He had to be like, all right, that's not the hammer blow. A minor, that's when he came up with that catchy little jingle. You know what I mean? Like, he realized this wasn't the death blow that he was looking for, because it was just lies.
But to go back to episode 1, though, what we said was, there's going to be a lot of allegations in this. There's going to be a lot of shit talking that's not going to be verifiable. Like, these artists are throwing out accusations that no one but Drake and Kendrick themselves can prove. You know what I mean? Is this one of those? Is the beating your way? Like, there's going to be a lot of that. So it's just grey. But for impact, the fact that he said, there's a second child, that had to be the biggest impact in this whole beef. Like, at that moment, until it got verified later on, hey, wait, there might not be a second.
Wasn't it, yeah.
And then that's what I think made it look worse, because it was the most impactful. So then that be discredited. It's like, well, you've lost.
Like, what are you?
I'll never say. I won't exactly say like if my take is true on Kendrick's behalf, I wouldn't say that's the smartest thing, because in hindsight, it obviously proved that it took away from
the impact of
the song. You guys are totally right.
Because otherwise, he did
Kendrick to be thinking like that.
He did everything else right, because the timing. Like, obviously, I still believe. If you're battling someone, you need to, like, it's a respond. You know what I mean? Like, you listen to what they say, and then you come back harder. You know what I mean? If it's pre-recorded, I personally don't like that. But there was such a menacing aspect to it. If it didn't have the daughter verse, this would be much higher for me. Like, this wouldn't be at rock bottom. Like, this. I reckon this is like tailor-made. Like, this and tailor-made are like right there.
All because of that verse.
Just because of that verse. Because he went for a haymaker, missed, and slipped. You know what I mean? Like, that's. I mean, he obviously came back around with Not Like Us.
He slipped and then used his heel.
And then he came back with Not Like Us. But yeah, that whole, because I just wish it was, if he had recorded it after and he had like released it a day later and the whole thing, this would have been close to a death blow.
Yeah, because I guess it's that timing that he released it in was otherwise impeccable.
Brother, I'm telling you,
that's what it's remembered
Drake
for
fans.
now.
But
But that's probably its longest.
But that's what makes it
legacy.
acceptable, though. That's what the fact that it was pre-recorded. The only reason it is acceptable is because he dropped it 45 minutes right after. It's a chess move. Whereas if he released it a day later, 2 days later, then you could really be like, come on, like you're not bringing anything new to the table. This isn't battle rap, like we said.
Because he only released at that time to undercut Drake's thing.
And that's what it did it perfectly.
Yeah, it did. 100%. It stopped it from Family Matters from being universally recognized as the best song, which is well timed. Like it was a calculated move, and I applaud that. Like he had us Drake fans like shattered. We were shattered.
It was the momentum.
We were
that
just like,
shift.
But then obviously we Googled, look at the children thing, and we're like, great, he's talking shit. We're back. We're back up, baby.
Until 2 days later.
The internet traffic was just crazy. The streamers listening to Family Matters live, and the chat's telling them that Meet the Grahams had dropped, and they're listening to it, and they're like, what do you mean Kendrick has dropped? That whole momentum shift, seeing that in real time with the internet was just
Didn't he
insane.
drop Meet the Grahams when Academics was listening to Family Matters?
I don't know if that was on purpose, but yeah, maybe.
I wouldn't put it past him to do
That
it.
was
Like
just crazy.
But
waiting
it
for
was.
Academics to
I
jump
remember
on
it came
to
live
them.
on YouTube half an hour because Drake released Family Matters on YouTube because it came out as a video.
Yeah.
And then half an hour later, I remember tweets just coming through, and I was like, "Huh? What? Huh? Huh?" And then I heard it, and I think I pulled out a beer. It was like 12:30. I grabbed the beer, and I was like.
The meme that
I
says,
was like Drake. I was like, oh my boy, he better come back with us. I was like, oh Drake, my boy.
that George Bush meme where it's like, sir,
Yeah,
a second dish
another
track has hit the embassy. A second dish track has hit the embassy. I was dying.
Yeah,
man.
I was in shambles. Isn't that when we caught? No, we caught up the week before.
We saw the week before.
The week before.
That week we were talking about the gravity of all these songs. It's just crazy times. It's hard to keep track of what was going on. I love it.
It was great.
We needed to restoke the fire.
That was an unbelievable moment in hip hop history. I think we haven't experienced like beef in real time. Everybody just so in tune with it.
I feel like the last moment like that was when Drake did back to back on Meek Mill.
Yeah,
because I feel like that had a little bit of a factor of I've never seen someone release a diss track and before the other person does a response, he's already released another one. And I feel like they both did it again with songs in this beef. But when Kendrick dropped this, 20, 30 minutes, we've never seen that before. Like, not a back-to-back song,
Impeccable.
but now it's like 20 minutes after someone dropped it, 30
And I
minutes
don't think
after.
even with the Meek Mill one,
It's
the
so memorable
social
for that
media buzz wasn't as crazy as this one. Like this took it to a whole nother level. It was just insane.
This one at this stage, the whole world was tuning in. Like everybody knew about it.
I told you, Margaret from accounting was talking about it. You know, like everyone was on about it. It was crazy.
Oh man, well look, that's why we're doing this, just because of again how big of a moment it was. It's fun going back on it all, man. And honestly, is there anything further on this episode? Because I was looking forward to getting past these songs.
No.
Can be all right
We can bring you back to the lightness now.
Yeah. Now we're good.
Belly off.
I discredited that last track. Praised the best track in the beef, so I think we're good.
Yeah. Still fun, regardless of how dark it got. It was still fun. It's still, hopefully, no one does get shot up or nothing violent comes out
we don't
of it.
want
So
that.
far from what we've seen, that hasn't
no
happened.
No violence.
Great moment in hip hop.
Facts.
Only came
Facts.
because these guys were beefing.
Facts.
Anything else to touch on, boys, before we sign it off in this episode?
Nah, I think we're pretty good. That was a fiery episode.
I'm feeling
That's
much
a bit
lighter
lighter.
after this.
I hadn't listened to Meet the Grahams since, I reckon, a few months ago, up until just preparing
Same.
for this.
It's
Same
basically got zero
Same.
listenability.
You can't.
Even now, even in the lead up to this episode, it was so much easier to listen to Family Matters than it was to listen to
Of course.
Meet the
Yeah,
Grahams.
yeah.
But it's not like you don't watch horror movies every day. You know what I mean? You put on comedy. You put on something fun. This is make you feel bad.
This is a mess. This is like watching like a terrible Disney movie, like The Acolyte. They thought it was gonna be a big blockbuster, and it turned shit. This is terrible. Ain't nobody gonna rewatch this,
I don't think you
re-listen
can
to this
discredit-
whatsoever.
I don't think you can
But you won't
discredit.
forget the moment.
That's the thing.
No, but the moment, yes. No, the moment was insane.
Kendrick sitting down Drake's whole family and talking to them one by one. Hey, listen, your son's this. You're a horrible father. This, like, it's unheard of before.
But he missed so bad with that verse that like nobody gives a damn.
Open up that can of worms again.
We'll leave it for now.
Anyway, thank you for listening again, guys. We'll be back for sure for the next episode, next few songs. But appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Peace.